Hello everyone. This next fly I'm going to tie is the Emerald Shiner. Fly similar to the Niagara Shiner, tied with a reverse belly to match the natural. The hook is a Daiichi 1750 straight eye streamer hook, size 4. I'm using the hare's ear metallic tape. I want the end of the tape even with the hook point and mark the spot where to start the thread. The thread is the Semperfli Nano Silk 18-aught white. Start the thread at the mark and trim the tag. Next, prepare the synthetic white polar fiber. Comb out a section and trim close to the base. Fold the fibers together, hold them firmly, and comb out the short fibers. Secure the fibers on top of the hook starting at the mark with smooth wraps to the hook point. And bring the thread back to the start. Add a small section of pearl ice dub shimmer fringe and secure it the same way as the polar fiber with both ends even. Trim the butts flush, build up the thread, whip finish, trim, and add thin head cement to the threaded area. Next, prepare the metal tape, trim a section, peel the back end and fold it over the threaded area upside down to the hook. Trim the tape belly shape using straight and curved scissors. Take the pearl Mylar and slide it over the tape. Secure the rear part of the Mylar, whip finish, and trim. Wrap the front part of the Mylar. Stretch it over the tape and secure. Trim the excess Mylar and build up the thread. Secure the 3mm silver 3D eyes from underneath the hook in front of the Mylar with figure 8 wraps and add head cement to both the eyes and the rear wrap. Next, add the white polar fiber on top of the hook. Split the fibers evenly and secure behind the eyes. Have the tips slightly longer than the flash. Add the white polar fiber from underneath the hook. Have the tips even with the end of the Mylar and secure behind the eyes. Add another clump of pearl ice dub shimmer fringe on top of the polar fiber, slightly longer. Trim the excess fibers around the eyes flush, build up the thread, and add head cement. Next, split the thread, wax both sides, and add a small clump of blue ice dub loosely. Add the dubbing twister, double over the thread and spin to secure the dubbing. Brush out the dubbing and switch over to a hackle plier. Wrap the dubbing behind the eyes and in between and secure by the thread in front of the eyes. Build up the thread and brush out the dubbing. Pull the blue dubbing away from the belly towards the top wing. Add another section of the white polar fiber from underneath in front of the eyes. Slightly shorter than the previous wing for the taper. Trim the excess and build up the thread. Secure the blue polar fiber on top in front of the eyes, slightly longer than the previous wing. Build up the thread, whip finish, and trim. Next, take the same thread, secure all the fibers, top, bottom, and the sides, in behind the eyes. A dozen or so wraps, trim the tag, and whip finish. Next, take 2 strands of the pearl crinkle flash and secure it along the side of the wing and trim it shorter than the main wing. Repeat on the opposite side and trim the flash even with the other. Whip finish and trim. Take the red thread and wrap over the white collar, whip finish and trim. Add the head cement to the wrap and the area around the eyes. Next, I'm switching over to the Semperfli Nano Silk 24/0 white. Start the thread and trim the tag. Add the pearl ice dub shimmer fringe on top of the blue polar fiber and trim the ends. Have the tips even with the blue polar fiber. Split the thread, wax both sides, and add pearl ice dub loosely. Add the dubbing twister, double over the thread and spin to secure the dubbing. Brush out the dubbing and switch over to a hackle plier. Wrap the dubbing tight in front of the eyes, going forward edge to edge and secure by the thread. Trim the excess, build up the thread and brush out the dubbing. Next, add the charcoal gray polar fiber on top, slightly longer than the previous wing. Secure and trim the excess. Add the white polar fiber underneath, slightly shorter than the previous wing. Secure and trim the excess. Add 4 strands of peacock curl on top, the same length as the gray polar fiber. Finally, add the light grizzly hackle tips along the sides of the gray polar fiber, slightly shorter. Flatten the stems and secure, and repeat on the opposite side. Trim the excess on the taper, build up the thread, whip finish, trim, and add head cement. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like and a thumbs up to see more of them.